folks, JustSteepIt here, and we've got something a little bit different today than our usual sketches and montages, etc. We're going to have a little dabble in one of these breakdown analytical videos. I thought it'd be quite interesting coming from the perspective of a seasoned Steep player. So let's jump into it. So straight off the bat, we've got 2 gold medals being shown off. We've got one shaped like a bear, the staple logo of Riders Republic, and another one of the Henrik Harlow Parallel Company. So at present, we don't know if there's going to be an equivalent competition of the Steep World Tour in Riders Republic. I have to admit it would be pretty cool if you could have gold medals as wearable accessories to show off your wins. But it's all speculation at the moment. So this is a big hype moment for anybody with an interest in freestyle skiing. Having Harlow Parallel in the game is absolutely nuts. So I think a lot of people got distracted by this panda guy, but look at that DSC. That stands for the Dope Snow Company. So I am absolutely buzzing to know that Dope Snow is going to be in the game. In my opinion, they're the best looking outerwear at the moment on the ski market. So this clip here, we have another brand reveal. We've got the 100% Company, one of the OG motocross companies. So on the left here, we've got arguably one of the most recognizable brands in the cycling world, and that's Scott. What sort of biking game is not complete without the Scott brand? And on the right side there, it looks like we've got a bit of a scuffed Troy Lee Designs. At least that's who I think it is, Troy Lee Designs t-shirt. So this is what all the Steep freestylers are looking forward to. Actually good design parks on launch. So this is already looking better than some of the parks we have in Steep. We've got a nice 3-section here with a multitude of different rails, boxes. We've got rainbow rails, boxes with kinks, and even wall rides for a change. And it just looks like it keeps going. When you look right down the end of the middle course, it looks like we've got some cannon rails and possibly some kickers down there. On the right side as well, we've got a little offshoot of the park, more rails, and another offshoot on the left. Look, it's just park everywhere. This is going to be amazing for all the Steep park rats. And one of the final points I'm going to make, which is entirely speculation on my behalf, look at all of that urban area in the background. Right in the far distance, we've got towns, we've got houses, who knows. Hopefully we got another Kitchick area. Now, one thing that caught the corner of my eye is this geezer here in the red. Now, if you look back at the video in real time, it looks like he's doing a double cross blunt grab. So having more tricks in additionality than what Steep offers is going to go down well in any park rat's book. So this clip here has already caused quite a discussion. We've got the skier in the orange jacket there, and there's a little bit of a debate on whether he's doing a Screaming Seaman or a Daffy. Now, Daffies are in Steep, but you could only use them through the purchase of the 90s DLC. Personally, I can't commit with confidence in guessing if it is a Daffy or a Screaming Seaman, but I am leaning towards a Daffy simply because he doesn't alternate his legs. Either way, I'm going to presume that this trick is no longer locked behind a purchasable DLC. So I got really hyped when I saw this clip. We got Lobsters back in the game, one of my favourite snowboard brands. This one in particular is my favourite model, that's the Ike Helgeson Pro. And here we got another little sneak peek of a confirmed Lobster model. So this might be a tad strange what I'm pointing out, but I'm focusing on the dinosaur outfit in the middle. Now everybody else is partaking in sport whilst this guy is on his own running, and at least this confirms that you can get off your bike, your board or your skis in this game. The only reason I'm pointing this out is that some people got really upset that you couldn't get off your skateboard in another rival game. So this is arguably one of the most interesting clips in the whole trailer. But firstly, we've got to address that we've got a snowboarder wearing Harlow Parallel. So some may say in the snowboard community that he's performed an act of blasphemy by wearing a ski brand hoodie while snowboarding. Anyway, back to the main focus of this clip. He's got one foot out of the binding. He's doing what's known in the snowboard world as a one-footer trick. So I suggest looking at any Scott Steven video. He's the one who sort of popularized it, made it really big. Personally, I think it's a really sick addition that's not too over the top from what we've seen so far, and it's just going to add another dimension to any snowboard freestyle. So I thought I'd highlight this particular clip because it shows the different terrains, but what interested me most was, look, this concrete road here. We actually have a reason for the road cycle. So this is another brand confirmation. Nitro, that's the team board in particular. Very happy they've got this in again. They're one of the big boys in the snowboarding world. So this was going to be another brand highlight. Firstly, it's Black Crows. It's really great to see them back in the game. They're a top brand from Chamonix. However, when you look at this video in a little bit more detail, what interested me was the top left corner there. You can see we've got some ski lift stations. So hopefully, one of the big requests from the Steep game was more ski lifts or moving ski lifts, so you never know. Secondly, what I thought was quite interesting is, look at that starting gate at the top. It's very similar to how races were presented in Steep. I wouldn't be surprised if they recycled the starting gates for how they're going to manage races again. Not gonna lie, these ragdoll physics here are just absolute jokes. So I thought I'd highlight this clip in particular just because it shows different types of bikes like hardtail, road, all suspension. It'd be interesting to see if these actually have different performances. A lot of guys were hyped from the Steep community when they saw this confirmation that the X Games is licensed and coming back for the Steep sequel. You can see they've got the half pipe in the center, and then you've got likely to be one of the big air events to the left or right, and then also the final kicker in presumably a slope style. So I'm giving this clip some attention just because this actually looks and feels like the original Steep Bride camera and the way the physics are as well. So a lot of people were worried that they would change the game massively, but to be fair, I have the funny feeling it's going to have that same sort of feel, but with next gen improvements. Also, check out how smooth that first person view is. That looks much better than what we currently have. I'm not quite sure what to think or what to feel with what I'm looking at right now. I think it's because I felt like Steep did a really good job with the way the world view was. And I think I'm just a little bit biased because there's not a lot of content from what I see. I think I'm just used to seeing all the races, all the challenges, and it makes it feel a little bit more saturated. But fair dues, this looks good if everything's going to be on one map rather than having to traverse between 3 different mountains like you do in Steep. To be fair, I just added this because I thought it looked kind of sick with all the protection that he has. It just adds a lot more diversity to the current outfits that are already on display. Right, there is so much going on in this clip alone. There is so much to look at, and I'm not gonna lie, this just feels like SSX. So it looks like this mammoth mountain is going to have a big focus on these over-the-top urban environments. So you can see there's kickers connecting the rooftops. We got a ton of rails that are on top of the rooftops that also run perpendicular on the side of the rooftops. Look at them. You can go everywhere on this. And it looks like you can go through the buildings as well as loads of open archways. We've got quarter pipes, we've got a little bit of a half pipe going on, and we've also got a little bit of like a rainbow pipe going on as well in the center there. It's just, there's so much to look at, and stuff like this is just going to be insanely fun. So outside of the park editor being one of the most requested features for Steep, I'm sure the snowmobile is up there with the top 3 most requested features to be added to any Ubisoft game. So this is going to make a lot of people happy. So if I'm being brutally honest here, I think this looks awesome. PvP in Steep was so stale, so boring and repetitive that something like this will give it a bit of a kick that it needs. This just looks insanely fun, goofy, and it will be a great laugh with friends. So we're jumping into the 1-minute trailer that Ubisoft released to complement the 5 to 6 minute gameplay. There is a lot to take in with this opening winter scene. So first things that strike me is that we've got a lot of people wearing yellow on the left and a lot of people wearing purple on the right. I'm going to presume at the moment that this is either coincidence or it's some sort of game mode where you've got two teams pitting against each other possibly. But of course, this is all speculation. And one thing I really like here, I've noticed a lot of the skiers and snowboarders have got hoods up, which is really sick. This is a feature that we should have had in Steep, the way to look baggy, look like a park rat, just to improve your overall aesthetic experience. The other things I'm looking at here, I like this village setup. It feels like a little bit more life than what we have with the current villages that we have in Steep. And you can also see the ski lift on the right side. Again, I mentioned it earlier, but a lot of people really want ski lifts, working ski lifts at that in the game. I think this clip here pretty much confirms we're going to have wall rides. Again, one of the top features requested, the ability to ride down a nice flat vertical surface. However, some people might have missed it in this clip. Look at the snowboarder. He's got a Burton snowboard on. That is a big brand to have confirmed in this game. Here we have another clip of another wall ride. I think this pretty much confirms, if they're going to show it off twice, that we're going to have wall rides in the game. I feel like throughout this trailer, these flags have had a lot of focus. It's as if Ubisoft are trying to make us give them their attention. I suspect it has something to do with either large-scale team games or possibly groups or clans, but again, I'm just speculating here. Right, this might just be for cinematic purposes, but I find this a bit of a big deal. One of my personal irks with Steep was the lack of flatland tricks, and look at this, we got a skier doing a lazy boy. They are literally riding their back along that dirt ground. Now, if this is confirmed, I will be so happy over something so minor. It just adds more to when you're skiing. This is one of the last shots in the trailer, and it confirms a lot of brand deals that they've got on board. On the left side there, we got some skis from Rossignol, so we know they're going to be in the game. And then on the right side, we got Red Bull. We got Fox being one of the biggest MTB BMX brands out there. You've got Burton and Santa Cruz. Overall, I'm quite impressed by the amount of top real-life brands they've got signed to this game so far. This is going to please a lot of people, and it's just going to give us that extra bit of depth to our aesthetic experience. Guys, I hope you're as hyped as me. It's about time we had a next-gen AAA extreme sports game. If you think I've missed anything in the trailer, let me know in the comments below. I'll catch you next time.